So in the first half of this guitar lesson, we'll take a look at some Johnny Cash style bass line walks, just like you hear in his song, I Walk the Line. After that, in the second half of the lesson, I'll show you a really easy way to use the chord numbering system to change keys when you're playing country music. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. First thing we'll do, pull up guitar tablature on the screen, and we'll work through this Johnny Cash style intro progression that I just played a sample of. So here's the first line of the tablature. And by the way, I've got my capo on the first fret. And as always, I've written in the pick stroke direction symbols above the tablature, so keep that in mind as we're working through this. So let me play through this first line of the tablature real quick so you can hear it, and then I'll break it down for you. That very first measure on the screen is just a pickup measure. We've got 3 pickup notes that will lead us into the main progression that actually starts in the second measure. For that pickup measure, we've just got 3 down picks right there. Open, pointer finger, ring finger, just like that, all on that 6th string. And if I was going to count in and then play the pickup measure, it would sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. To the second measure. So the second measure right there, I'm just holding an A major chord, and the strumming pattern goes like this. Pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. Pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. You see we're alternating the bass note picks. The first pick is on the 5th string, and then the next pick is on the low E string. So up to this point we've got A, then moving on to the third measure, we've got a Johnny Cash style bass line walk right here. That happens all on the 5th string. Open, open, pointer, ring. And if you really look at what's going on here, we're walking that bass line melody from the A up to the D. A, walk, up, D. So right there you saw the 4th measure, we just switch that D chord and do the same strumming pattern. Pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. And then once we get to the 5th measure, we've got another bass line walk, but this time we're walking the melody line down. We're going from the D, walk down to the A. The A is coming up in the next measure we're about to get to. So that 5th measure, one more time. Pick, pick, ring, pointer. So let's put all this together and play this line one more time, and then we'll move on to the next line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A, D, one thing I'm going to point out real quick, if you can't quite get the pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum sounding right, you could make it a little more simple and just do pick, strum, pick, strum, and they'll sound just fine. And just like this, pick, strum, pick, strum. So nothing wrong with doing that at all. All right, let's move on to the next line here. We got measures 6 through 9. Sounds like this. So you can probably already tell what's going on here. In measure 6, we're holding down the A major chord and we're doing that same strumming pattern. The pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. Only difference here in measure 6 is that we're going to pick those bass line notes in the opposite direction. So take a look here at the tablature. That first bass note pick in measure 6 is on the 5th string, but then we're going to actually pick on the 4th string. So that's in measure 6 there. So after measure 6, we're going to have another bass line walk, and this time we're going from the A, walking down to the E, just like this, measure 7. And then to the E. Just hold the E major chord, same strumming pattern, measure 8. But then in measure 9, we've got slightly different bass walk. One thing to take note of at the very beginning of measure 9, that very first bass note pick, that comes from the E major chord that I'm still holding down from the previous measure. So measures 8 and 9 together goes like this. E, dun, 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 dun. Not too bad. So let's just play this line one more time, measures 6 through 9, and then we'll move on to the next part. 1, 2, 3, 4. A. E. And then into the next line, we got measures 10 through 13. It goes like this. Measure 10, you can see we're using that same strumming pattern, except now we're holding down the B7 chord. Measure 10, pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. And then measure 11. See what's going on there? Measure 11, that first bass note pick is coming from the B7 chord that we're still holding down from the previous measure. Pick, and then lift up your fretting hand to do the rest of the walk down. You see we're walking from the B7 down to the E. And then measure 12, switch to the E chord, same strumming pattern. So this line's not bad at all. And let's go ahead and just pull up the last two measures here. This tablature, we've got measures 14 and 15. And we're actually just going to keep on holding down that E major chord and do two more measures of the pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum to wrap everything up. So that's how you play the entire Johnny Cash style intro progression. So let's go back to the beginning of this and practice with me if you want to here, or just take a good listen and get a better feel for it. I'm going to count us in just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Dun, dun, dun. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. B7, E, one thing that I like to work on when I'm practicing this type of Johnny Cash style rhythm, so I like to focus on my picking hand a lot and really try to make my bass note picks ring out nice and loud. But then I want my strums in between to be nice and soft. So use a heavy-handed down pick on those bass note picks and then nice and soft strums in between. Pick, 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 pick. It's easier said than done. It's a little tricky to get those bass note picks to ring out nice and loud, but something really good to work on as you're practicing this Johnny Cash style intro progression. So next what we're going to do is we're going to go to the second half of this lesson, which can be found over at countryguitaronline.com. So check that out when you have a second. And in the second half of the lesson, we'll talk about the chord numbering system and how to use the chord numbering system to change keys when you're playing country music. And then we're going to apply everything we'll talk about to the rest of this song, I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash.